grab a book and hold it tight, sharing stories by the firelight.
So hello everyone, welcome to this deep dive, crafting story with custom outline framework. We're going to start learning a bit on how to use the outline inside Sudowrite. Today I have a lovely co-host with me, Jeff. He's going to be there to take your question inside the chat. And if you raise your hands or things like that, you let me know what's going on. So thank you for Jeff for being with me today, and the last class and all the future class too. Perfect. So my name is Manon Doucette. I've been with Sudowrite since January 2023. I've been working with the AI for 2 years prior to that. To this day, I'm still learning every day that AI is going at a crazy speed, but I'm totally in love with what we can do with it because it's there to help us writing our books. So during the session, if possible, stay mute so I don't lose my train of thought because that can happen very easily. If I go too fast and there's a ton of questions, please let me know to slow down. Sometimes I can just go on a random and just like be gone and speak very fast so you can slow me down. Raise your hands, put your question in the chat, and we are a small family, so it's nice to have everyone to pitch in, ask question, and tell us how you work with your outline as we go. This is a few of the books that I already published, and thank you from Book in a Month and all the information from this beautiful community we have. I'm starting using the DeepL. So this book has been published in 4 languages now. This one is coming up very, very nicely. So I have the 5 first book done, and this one also. So they're coming up in all those languages, so French, English, Spanish, and German. So in this class, it's for the people who seek a different workflow or learn a new workflow on how to get the best possible outline for your story. Because how many times we hear a person says, I tried the outline, there's not enough chapter, there's not enough information, there's not enough this, then there's none of that, or it's totally the wrong one. So we'll learn to make sure that we have the right one and come out sometime of Sudowrite and go in ChatGPT or Claude or the one you're using every day and ask question to your ChatGPT or your Claude, is this the right outline for my book? So I will show you how I deal with that also. So at the end, you're going to find your workflow and the best outline for your story. You got the document that Jeff is going to be sharing as long as each time someone shows up inside a new participant is going to put it back. If you're missing it, ask him to put it again in the chat. He's going to share with you our document. Any question before I jump in totally? We good? I have a question for you guys. Is any of you totally new to Sudowrite and it's their first class or their first week and they're not very comfortable at navigating inside Sudowrite? James. So I see a lot of names that I know before, so hardly, James, you're right. All right, so if we're ready, we're going to go at it. The only thing that I want to say, because I normally forget to talk about it often, is the email you're going to get at the top of the hours asking you for feedback, because Sudowrite really wants to know how you think about the class, what you like to see in the future, and if you like the information you got. So let's jump right in inside the Sudowrite itself. I'm going to change my desktop to this one. There we go. Now we are inside. Okay. All right, so we have the document right here. Do I see my document? I have to get, yeah, okay. So this is basically a bit of information on what we have already inside Sudowrite. So when we go inside Sudowrite, we have our empty project right here. many places you can go and check a few things, but the outline, you go inside your story Bible in the outline. And under the outline itself, when you have your drop down, we have all those beautiful outline that we already have. But how many of us, or many of the new people which using Sudowrite and go actually and really look at what this outline is made for? Really go deep about it. Which one is, sometimes we read these little things and we don't really pay attention to what they are or what they are used for. And this is what we're going to look at. And in the same time, showing you how to expand on those outline and get the best possible outline for your stories. So what I did, before I jump in and like showing you all the other outline, because there is hundreds of different outline out there that you can use. And in the tab right here, you can see that these are only 50 of some of the outline that you can use. And these are just the name or the style of the outline. And there is a lot. There's hundreds and hundreds of different outline to work with. So what I did is basically I went inside that Sudowrite and I says, okay, let's see what is that novel outline that we're going to start with. What is it made for? So just a little bit of information on how to use this novel outline, depending on the length of the story and the theme of the story that you're using. We always think that the novel outline is the one who's going to give you the most chapters. And when you go and generate your outline, a lot of people say there's not enough chapter, it's not detailed enough and things like that. So just by taking the one inside Sudowrite, I just went and take all the information over here. So I did use these stories and I did go in and write the story about the Blade Runner, Our Little Hobbit, and Sherlock Holmes. And I can tell you one thing, the story about Sherlock Holmes is beautiful. He did a fantastic story on that. So, any questions so far?
Nothing in chat.
Perfect. Okay. So, in our tool in plain English, our novel outline in Sudowrite is designed to help us to shape a full-length story. Not just a plot, but meaningful narrative. Can you send the doc again for D, please? So the outline type, we have the core theme. So what the story is really about. So before you go and get a novel outline, really to get those questions nailed down. The setting and the world building, so where it's unfold and why it matters. The genre and the expectation of the trope. The character-driven conflict over the long arc. So these are questions to ask about, is it the good outline, the novel outline for the book you're writing about? So these are all like little information, but this is the very interesting part about the novel outline is the book. The novel outline is very nice for middle grade and young adult stories. So we can take like Harry Potter is in that kind of style. And definitely when you see inside that Sherlock Holmes, the Blade Runner, and the other guy, the Hobbit, they use that novel outline. So under that, you also have that literature and genre fiction. So, which I find very interesting that most of the fiction goes under that fiction outline, when we also have that hero's journey, which most people will have gone towards this for doing this outline. Like here we have Skywalker is under that hero's journey. So what made the difference between the novel outline and then the hero's outline? Anyone would be able to tell me that? I'm pretty sure that William would have the answer on that one.
Sorry, I was disciplining a dog. I didn't hear the question.
Okay, I was asking if because you're doing a lot of fantasy, but you also dabble in different like war books and things like that. So your favorite outline, because here we have the outline that we can use in a few like Blade Runner is using that. It is a futurist fiction one, but then the hero's journey also using the fiction because Skywalker is under this one.
Well, you're asking the wrong guy, Manon. I'm sorry. I'm a pantser who's trying to learn how to be a plotter.
Okay.
Manon,
Yes.
uh, at least to me, the difference between the two of them is while the novel outline focuses on, lots of themes and tropes and everything, Hero's Journey narrows in specifically on that whole transformation process from the Luke Skywalker, nobody on his aunt and uncle's farm, to the savior of the Jedis.
Mm-hmm. So the novel outline is very rich for the world and the settings. I also have that bring the character to drive the story forward. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Then the hero's journey is definitely, well, it tells the hero journey, but we're going to talk about it a bit later too. So under that novel, he says essentially it's very powerful to use the novel for a fantasy, a science fiction, a mystery, literature fiction, historical fiction, and speculative fiction. Now, what that's mean for some people of us, which says, well, my book, my story, how do I know which outline to use? Where is my, I'm going down a bit here. So, all right. So here, what I did to explain a bit more about that novel outline and how to use it. Remember when I said I use exactly what they have inside Sudowrite, our example over here. So this one is the Blade Runner, the Hobbit, and Holmes. So what I did here is I basically says, okay, like an example number one about the Blade Runner, which is a science fiction / identity. So what I did after that is I says, okay, let's get with this and run with that. So I have all three of them. So let's go with the first one. So I got the example like this, and I copy everything. And then I went inside Sudowrite, and we're doing the Blade Runner. And I'm sorry if I'm going from one screen to the next. Some people really don't like it because it makes them sick. So this first example, I said, okay, what is the Blade Runner? What is it? So the strong theme of that, what makes someone human? The setting is a future shaped by technology. The long internal arc, identity, doubt, moral, and conflict. And it's not about the action alone, is the story linger. And we can say that because it's inside that computer, the Blade Runner story. So it says, okay, let's run with this. So it says, well, I'm putting all that inside my brain dump. And I only went inside my genre, and it says, this is a science fiction identity. So we know it's about the Blade Runner and everything else. And from there, I just ask, because I need to start somewhere to show you what this is going all about. Interesting image. And it says, bring me a synopsis of my Blade Runner. So it did that synopsis here, which is basically about the Blade Runner and everything that we know about the movie, with a bit of sidetrack because not everything is about exactly the same thing than in the movie. So I'm not totally in Blade Runner, but someone can go and read it and say, yeah, it is, no problem. So, and I just develop everything very quickly so I can get something to show you. And what I'm doing right now is I'm also doing a base because like I said, I'm going to show you for the whole year, every month, I'm going to show you more outline and different outline. But first we have to understand what those outlines are dealing with and how we can actually manipulate each outline after that. So I'm pretty impressed with all the character that he gave me. I'm not sure, is there as many characters in Blade Runner? As far as I remember, the main character, supporting character, it seems to be similar. Anyone is very good with Blade Runner here?
That's all of the names that I recognize. There may be some minor characters. The only one that I don't see in there is Deckard's partner.
Okay,
But other than that, yeah, it looks like you've got all the characters showing there.
perfect. So everyone knows if you have a missing character that you know it should be in there, you can go and create or add a new character by putting it and tell which one it is. Now they put this on top. So put the character you're looking for and add it to it. So, but today we're not working on the character, but it's a good thing to know. In my world building, I only did one because I know it's a fiction. I have a card called fiction, and it just says generate me this card. So basically, sorry, it's giving me the different name for the Blade Runner story. It's giving me the historical and the political story about it, which is kind of funny, 2020, humanity consolidation and all that stuff. The government is the hybrid and things like that. Just a small information on what a fiction story or a novel book should have in a world building. If I was to write that story, you will know that my world building will be extremely detailed. There will be like over 20 cards easily in my world building. Now, we do have our outline. So basically what I did is the normal outline. I says, okay, I want my novel outline, and he gave me my novel outline on Blade Runner. And we got the 3 act. Is it 3 or 4? So we have the 4 act on this one. And he gave us, no, 5 act. And we have 21 chapter for that novel, based only on the little information that we gave it here, science fiction, identity, deck word and all that. The AI went and picked up the story from what he knows already and make it better, or did a side story to it? Probably. But this is basically, it's a nice outline. If you look at it this way here, we have 469 words of outline, and then we can get this even more details. But this is just to give you a base on this outline here. And I believe you have access to every single one of those. So we have the synopsis that was done, and then we have the result of the outline right there. So you can go and read it at your own time. So we're not going to spend the whole evening on the road of the Blade Runner. Let's close this one. Let's close this one. All right. So example number 2, we have Frodo. So we have our Hobbit. This one here, you're going to see I put a bonus part of it. So now we're going to start having a bit of fun with this. So my little Hobbit, just before I go too far, any questions so far?
Nothing in chat so far.
All right. Nobody falling asleep? Perfect. So Frodo, I did exactly the same thing. I went and get my information. I asked for examples and tell me why this worked for this. And basically, this is a question I just asked inside ChatGPT to give me more information on the outline that are used inside Sudowrite. So I made sure that it's inside Sudowrite. You have a question? No? Okay. All right, so basically same thing. I put the information inside my brain dump, epic fantasy, moral burden. Exactly same thing, just those 4 words inside my genre. And I ask for my synopsis. And that you also have all the information in here. All the results are right there for you guys. Now, the outline. I'm going to close that. I generate all my characters. So we have Frodo, Samwise, Gimli, Gandalf. That one I know because I listened to all of the, maybe 2 or 3 times. There's a few of them which I don't remember having in the movie. So it's definitely, if I was to write that story, it would have been maybe a side story to our story that we have or that we all know about our hobbits. So I'm closing down. Sorry, it takes a long time. But we have our cast. Just don't know why this doesn't, there we go. And the world building, I did get a couple more information on my world building. Now I wanted to show you when I do a world building, this is what I do when I do a world building. I don't play with, like we say in hockey, I don't play with the puck. I just go right in. So I got, I go inside basically ChatGPT and I says to ChatGPT, and this is, I believe I put it down here in my bonus, expand my world building. So I use in ChatGPT world building. This is the synopsis. So I took my little prompt here. I went inside my ChatGPT. You can start a new one like this. And I went and take the synopsis like that. And I put it in. And basically what I ask, he says, I want everything, every element possible to write the best seller book right now for the world building to put in my cards. And when I do that, he's giving me a long series of cards. So it's giving me a system of cards that I can use. And what I do is I look at them and it says, okay, I like that. All I did is basically copy. You can copy everything, even the bottom part. Why does it matter? It doesn't stop it from doing what it has to do. I go back inside my word, Sudowrite. And how you use that? You go under the bottom here or the three dots. So you don't have to get another card because then you have like 100 of cards in here. So for each books, you change different world building. So basically I just go in my three dots, import. In the text, I just pass all the information in here. And it says, okay, import this. Then it's going to give me the cards, which are really in relation to what I ask inside ChatGPT. And I just click go. It's going to go inside and get me all the information and go even deeper inside the documentation and how to get little details that if you don't have a full world building developed to the max, because I kind of go overboard with it, then when you write your book, all the details are there. And you'll find out if you do it this way, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's doing that with the world building. The difference between a small world building and a very developed world building, in the prose, it's incredible the amount of information which is going to write for you. So now we have our Middle Earth, and the Sudowrite normally goes in and put them in the right spot. And I'm pretty sure I have Middle Earth up here too. So if when you have things in double, like I would have right now, you just click on the eyes and make sure it doesn't go at it. I don't remember seeing one of this one on one of the lower. The moral law, I'm pretty sure we probably have two different ones compared to the one on top. And you just go and read them and see that makes sense for your story. I'm sure we have the ring. I have the ring up there a couple of times. There is a ring per king and the main ring for the hobbit. The golem I know I have up there, so I have this one twice. So I already got a few of those cards, but just to give you how that works. And if this part here is empty and you says, okay, I don't know where I should put it, the only thing I did is I says, okay, this part here, it's one of those, or it's basically just a rule. So you just copy the top, and just for my personal information, I just went in and I put it there. So this way I know what that card is about on our golem. So far, so good. Then,
Yep.
Thank you, Jeff. Then same thing, now I got my outline from the whole of everything we work on. So now our story Bible is pretty much it's a beautiful story Bible. I got to say, it's the world building is so developed and everything else. These are not the very small one that we used to. They kind of like a bit double size that normal outline normally kicked out. And we have 24, 25. We have 6 acts on this one. If it's not more, 7. You see the difference between the other one and this one? We have 7 acts and 35 chapter. So by having a very, choosing the right information and really develop your world building, you give enough information to Sudowrite to create a really intense outline. And the outline, you have it here. You can go and check the outline and read it and see what that look like. That would be an interesting story to write in one shot to see the difference. If you did the same thing in Sherlock Holmes, I'm sure we'll love it. Sorry, I'm taking a bit of water. So far we're doing good?
Yep.
Great. All right. So our third one that I play with is the Sherlock Holmes one. So the setting is Victorian, London matter, character driven, because Sherlock Holmes is the one who's doing all the investigation, which come back to what we saw on top there. What is that outline with is really like the full-length novella, and is making things go forward with our character. So it's basically on that. The episode structure inside the larger worldview, and the theme logic versus chaos, reason versus emotion. So I love Sherlock Holmes. It's one of the one that I keep reading on and listening in books, along with Dan Brown is one of my favorite author. So our Sherlock Holmes right here. This one, as you can see, I wrote the story. It gave me a 41,128 word story, and I listened to it and I really wonder, is Sherlock Holmes part of the copyright that we cannot write about? Anyone knows that? Because I have to make research on this.
I think that Sherlock Holmes is in the public domain.
Cool. So now anybody can write a book on Sherlock Holmes. There's no hit and bump or thing. As soon as they are in that domain, we can access and do it.
Yeah, if it's in public domain, you can. Let me check that real quick while you go on.
Perfect, thank you. Because the story is mind-blowing. I really like it. I even asked one of my friends if I can borrow some of his book to make sure that none of these in that story, all the investigation is doing, if they actually already exist. So I was like, wow, I really, really love the result. Thank you, John. So again, same thing. I use basically my little prompt that you also have in here. Sorry. Get my third information with my example of Sherlock Holmes, and I ask my little question inside ChatGPT about, give me more information about Sherlock Holmes and how to use it. So I got that, which I went into my story Bible, put right there inside my story Bible, and why does it fit inside that that outline we're going to use. Only put that inside my genre again. And here I did go and get a bit more information. When I saw on top there, one of my answer inside to the right says this is rational noir, intelligent versus organized chaos. The deduction is the primary tools. The primary weakness is emotional blindness. And the individual question, can reason ever fully defeat evil? This is the first time I do a style box like this, but the result was very, very, very like mind-blowing. But I did a bit more than that, and I will show you also how I got to write the same way or similar, very, very similar to the original author in that story that I wrote. So I did all that, and I asked my synopsis, which you have access inside our document, so you can go and read it. And then got all my character done as normal. And I'm sorry if we have to go through all that, because we have to get all these information done before we jump into the outline. Because more information you have, better the outline is going to be. So we have all our character, and the result, it's really mind-blowing. Totally like. So we have Violet Hunter. I don't remember having a Violet Hunter before. A Colonel something, yes. Sebastian Morin, maybe not. Mycroft obviously is our bad guy. It's kind of funny. No, that's not Mycroft, that's his brother. Is that one? That should be his brother. I don't know why he put it in a supporting character, but maybe he's not there a lot. Meredith is our bad guy. We have a love interest. Should be the one which is for the doctor, isn't she?
No, Mary Morstand is the doctor's fiance.
That one.
Right.
Okay. So she's the one for Sherlock Holmes in that story.
Correct.
Perfect. We have Inspector Lestrade, John Watson, and Holmes. So basically all the normal characters that we know in that story are here. Now, again, I did go and ask ChatGPT to give me every details to have the best possible world building, and there's a lot of it, as you can see. I think I did give you the world building also. So the world building itself, we have 13,852 words just in world building. That's a lot of details. So you have access to this in here, if I'm not wrong. Do we have it, Jeff? I think I put it up. If I don't, just let me know. I'm going to add it.
I'm checking right now to see which ones there. I've got synopsis, I've got the Victorian Mysteries Unraveled, and the third one is
That's the outline.
your outline. So no, world building needs to be included, please.
Perfect. Let's get word building inside. There we go. I will put it in the chat and inside the document in the same time. What did you find about Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, I pasted it into chat. Yes, the character first became public domain in 2014, but as of January 1st, 2023, every story of Sherlock Holmes had entered the public domain. So using every facet of the Sherlock Holmes story is now available to use for any derivative works.
Fantastic. And it's inside the chat. So we'll put it in our document because it's a lot of questions. We always have someone asking the same question and we're never sure because things can change. So just to make sure, I will put it in our document under some note. Oh, that's not here. I want to put it, it's here. Let's put it in the bottom of here. So before class number 2. Because this is interesting information to have all the time.
Yes, and that was thanks to Copilot that got me that information quickly.
Perfect. All right, so I don't need this here. Delete that. There we go. Okay, let's get back to our outline here. So now we have a lot of information. Here we have our character. And each time we come out, it just, everything come back up. I don't know why. It's a lot of going up and down. Okay. So word building, we have a lot. I said 16,000 or near 16,000 words. We have so much information. And what I like is all these are used in every different little thing that Sherlock Holmes is going to go for. All right, outline.
Manon, could I ask that you do one more small favor?
Yes.
Go up to characters.
Want a copy?
Yeah, if you would copy that and put that into a document and then add that in the
Absolutely.
Google Docs. Just that way the class can see all the details that you were able to get just from what you had generated.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. Go. It's in the right one, last one. Perfect, done. We're going to,
Thank you so much.
no problem. All right, so let's go back to our outline. We know it's a beautiful outline. Worldwide that the book itself gave me 41,120 words. The outline on this one, how many words do we have? 5,628 outline here. So the outline is one thing that I find very interesting about it. It says first the science of deduction. So they start very nicely about, and there's something else I will show you on that, so make sure I don't forget. I'm going to show you how I did write this in one full story in one shot. So it's basically telling us about Baker Street, the empty house, where is the first place where they're going to go with the inspector, the first crime that happened, how Sherlock Holmes is going to do all that, the science of deduction, and Jefferson Hope, the affair. One thing about this new way of writing this, which I really like, is the act here. I always find that I know most people likes to go directly inside the actions. It's like, let's start a book on a big boom and action, but not every books or every novel should be starting that way. So Sherlock Holmes is one of the one that you need a bit more finesse when you start your books, more information to bring the person inside that story. If anyone else has something different about Sherlock Holmes on how it's supposed to be written, that's my take on that, because I really like to go slow when I read or go with Sherlock Holmes stories. So we have 5 acts right here, and they're not all having the same amount of chapter per act. So what I did is I read them all and it says, okay, I really like it. So what I did here at the bottom, you can see full outline. This is one of the things I showed to John Crosson. Instead of having the outline on the side, put the full outline and bring the outline into an empty document. It says, why not just link it directly? So I take the whole outline basically by going here, that one here, copy the outline. And at the bottom, I just say add a chapter. When the chapter is added, just pass in your full outline. So that's what I did here. So instead of having chapter 24, I changed the name to full outline. And I put the full outline in here. From this, I went to my three dots and it says, let's create our full outline, which you have right there. Now, just give it a time to show up. Here we go. As you can see here, we have our full outline, which is attached. When we go to our three dots, the full outline is attached out directly here, and there's nothing connected to the author to continue. So if you have another books before, you can connect it there to do a connection to it if you want. You know how that works. But for this one here, I simply took everything back and I paste everything inside my scene box. And normally, remember when we have our act one, we try to stick it to chapter one, and the same thing with act two, we stick it to chapter, which is right after. It says, I really like to have more than that. I really like to have an introduction to what is the act one. So that's where I went here, and it says, write an introduction, just introduction. Act one, science and deduction, introduction, and then chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, chapter four, act two, same thing, introduction, and so on. The result is very, very interesting when it writes. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, down here, I have to show you the other part that I did too. That's when I'm so excited and I want to jump left and right. So at the bottom, when I finished doing all my, putting everything together, my chapters to my title, I went and get my extra instruction for this one. So the full outline cards get me so I can write the whole book in one silo. And what I mean by one silo is everything is written this way down instead of having chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, chapter four, and all that, and do every individual one, and then be worried about the linking between. So for me, I really like to go that way, and then I go and edit the book and expand everything after it's written. So I don't know if we call that a pensy or something else. William, how we call someone who's doing the story like that and go and edit after? Someone has the answer for that?
Not sure.
Because we had a pencil, and then we have someone has the answer. Very quiet. Okay, when someone gets the answer, you let me know. Now, our story about Sherlock Holmes. See my instruction box? Has quite a bit of information in it because I wanted to have the Sherlock Holmes way of saying the story. So what I did is I went inside my little information here. Sorry. Insert my synopsis, take every card, do that. Chapter 3. Did I put my little information? Or did I forgot to put it up? Oh, I forgot to put this in. Okay. I'm going to go in here and show you how I did this. Where is my little information? Okay. What I did is basically I asked, how do I write this story to sound exactly similar to the author of Sherlock Holmes? And I did go inside ChatGPT and I asked a question, and I need that, what I put down here. I need to make a search. Give me my information here. Because I need my little prompt. It's very dry, winter. All right, outline writer. This is a strong, clear starting point class. Sherlock Holmes writing style right there. All right. So, okay. I like to have the best description, the best possible way to describe the way that Sherlock Holmes, the story of Sherlock Holmes are written. So I can give that to, and this is voice. Basically, I'm talking to ChatGPT, so he doesn't know Sudowrite. He call it Sudowrite AI. That I can actually write the story in the same writing style. So the first answer he gave me, I wasn't too pleased with it. I says, okay, I could use that. I could use this part here if I find it similar to what it is and put it inside this part here where we can tell the system in our model. You can add that right here, a writing style. But what I wanted is I wanted to have the prompt to put inside underneath my scene box to write the story. So I said, okay, that doesn't work. So can we write this style with the same writing style? So, okay, this is not the right one. This is the other story. So this is what this is. Perfect request. This is exactly this. So is it that answer? Perfect request. All right. So that's what he did. He gave me that information I was looking. So a clean master style description, copy, paste, and all that stuff. So it's the master Sherlock Holmes writing style, copy, paste, ready. The writing style of Sherlock Holmes, which is Arthur Conan Doyle. He writes in a clear, precise, and observant prose style that blend logic and clarity and all the atmospheric information. The character revealed through the action, dialogue, and interfered behaviors. Give us a lot of information on how to write. And I wasn't sure as should I use all that and it's going to understand everything. So do you want this? It's kind of, I will have to fix it inside of the system. I will add it to this here under.
And if you could also take your extra instructions and put that into a document and share that out and put the link in the class documents for that, that would be helpful to see what the actual extra instructions were that you used.
Yeah, I will do that too.
Thank you.
Because I know I did write it, it might be in a different document. So Sudowrite, do I have it somewhere else that he mixed up things? So just, you can fix it the way you want because that was voice to text. But just tell you that I talked to the ChatGPT quite a bit. So basically with
yes, you and Charlie do have quite the relationship going.
Yeah, I do. We go and talk. I don't spend a lot of time in my car not talking. I talk to ChatGPT and it's called Charlie. So I can do a story between my house and the hospital, like I do go to the hospital quite a bit, and brainstorming a story or an idea or things like that. And just when I come back, I just start and write about it or fix it. So basically what I did, I took my whole information here, the whole thing, copy and paste beside the bottom here when it says you can do this next and the card and that. So I don't take this part. And I insert it inside the extra instruction under, and as you can see, the whole information about our outline, the full outline is there, plus each act has an introduction to them. So I just did that. Make sure that the bottom part was removed beside all the way here. Says, okay, I will leave it there anyway, no problem. And I did ask what's the best way to write that story also. And back to ChatGPT says, what's the best POV and the tense? And he said something about a few things on, it's a good question to ask ChatGPT about that, because some of the chapter, if it's a flashback, it's from the past. if it's something which is going to happen in the future, then you make sure that you have the right tense as you write. In this situation here, the extraction will give the information to Sudowrite to write the chapter in the right tense. Some people may have problems, says no, it doesn't work. So far, I don't have too much problem with that, but I have, like I like to write the story, read it, and where I want to says, okay, change the tense on this, highlight, rewrite. I use the chat on this side. It says rewrite this part in this tense because it's a flashback or something like that. So don't be shy to use all these information that you have. So you asked me to take this here and put it inside this document.
Yes, please.
Any questions so far?
The only question Dee had was asking what the full outline card got you, and you've explained that brilliantly, and she's very happy with the results, as we are.
Perfect. And I'm going to give you the copy of the story too. So this is the extra instruction. There we go. I know I have it. And when I'm going to finish the class, I'm going to go and check. Oh, that's where it is. So it's always like that. Things happen like this. Okay. All right. This is there. And then we have the full story. It's a bit slow. 41,000. So I'm going to move it down here. And that's the story that we got with this detailed outline and all. And I'm going to put that in here. Put under the full class. So we're almost on top of the hour. Sorry. All right. So this is to show you how we're going to go about finding the outline that we use to write our story. When we get to this here, I believe class 2 was going to talk about how to use the hero's journey. Now before, because we are almost at the top of the hours, I hope that how I showed you how to go about and try to figure out the right outline for the story you're going to write. As we go, we're going to develop a lot more. And as I advance in those class every month, I'm going to add a lot of bonus and tricks that I use in a lot of my books. But one of the things that I really, really love, we're going to jump to other outline that are not inside Sudowrite. So you're going to learn as we go, figure out how to go inside ChatGPT, take your outline and ask questions to ChatGPT about what is the best outline for this. And one thing that about ChatGPT is great is kind of learning a bit about you, because you're always having the same ChatGPT. I don't know about the free version, if it's doing the same thing, but the pay version, it definitely does. Is going to says, okay, you use this one a lot, but for this story, you should be able to mix it with a different outline. So here we have, by example, the Snowflake Method, which was used like in the last 2 years quite a bit. We use this even in our instruction, extra instruction, or in our bracket to tell the AI says, okay, I'm using the Save the Cat or Hero's Journey, but add the Snowflake method to it so it's flow better. So in the Snowflake method is not just a method, it's also part of an outline. And these are different outline. You even have German one here that you can look at. And you can go and have fun too before the next class next month, where I'm going to go even deeper and ask, because I'm going to have all the explanation for every single of those outline and how to use them. We're going to go from adult books outline for nonfiction, self-help, recipes book, journals, and things like that. Young adult, every different novel that you can think of or genre that you can think of, which doesn't all match or fit inside just those few outline that we have. And also show you how to really go about getting this outline back out here so I can get to it. To use that one here and how to use this one, because the AI is not that stupid. You can put the name of an outline and it's going to do that outline for that story for you. So like this one, that one is empty, I could not do it. But if I had an outline which is totally empty and change the instruction and choose one of those outline to write my, like you see, an epic feat fantasy quest art. So go check what that is all about and which story will fit better, and then make comparison between them. You're welcome, Betsy. Me too. So next class will be, we're going to go deeper and check also the hero's journey and basically decortic every single outline and test them and see how they goes. And as you come to the class too, I want you guys to ask question on what you want to see, how to test every outline to the maximum so that everybody has a really clear understanding of what we're doing here. So for me, I went through all my notes that I wanted to teach you today. Any question or anything you like me to test before I let you go? It's Sunday night and tomorrow we all go back to work, most of us anyway.
There's no questions open in the chat.
Good. So if there's nothing else for you guys on what I showed today, I hope you learned something, that the space of this is slow enough that we can assimilate every little nuance of this session and how to use different outline. And as I tell you, during the year, we're going to go very deep and having a lot of fun on all these things. And I'm trying to stay inside the hours, which is a great thing too. It's something I don't do often. I used to go very far out. I will have tendency to try to show you every single outline, but we're going to go about it. So thank you, everyone. I wish you a beautiful rest of the day, of the evening, wherever you are.
Thank you, Manon.
And I want to say thank you to Jeff, my fantastic co-host today. And see you during the week. There's more class, the nonfiction class, how to write a nonfiction books. That one is a 2-day series. And the other one that I'm teaching to, what's the other one I'm teaching? There's 3 classes this week. So I'll see you in those classes. Have fun, guys. All right. As a bonus for the class, I did the last one here, which is a mystery / character and setting based on Sherlock Holmes, the world's greatest detective, and his loyal companion, Dr. John Watson, navigate the foggy street of Victorian London to solve the city's most complex mystery. Using this unique deductive reasoning skills, Holmes unravel intricate web of crime, unmasking killers, thieves, and spies who elude conventional law enforcement. Why is this fit with this novel outline? The setting is essential for Victorian London matter, the character-driven investigation, the episodic structure inside a larger worldview, and the theme logic versus the chaos reason versus emotion. So what I did is give you 3 examples so far. This is the last one, and I decided to make a small bonus video so you can see the step. So basically, I took the prompt that you have in the Word document. I put it inside here, went to the story Bible, put it in my brain dump. I used the mystery/character plus setting inside the genre, nothing in the style, and I just asked for a synopsis. So now we have a synopsis of Sherlock Holmes, the world's greatest detective, navigate the foggy street of Victorian London with his loyal companion, Dr. Watson, to solve the city's most complex mysteries. Using his unique detective reasoning skills, Holmes unravels intricate web of crime, unmasking killer, thief, and spies who elude conventional law enforcement. Their investigation revealed a city teeming with deception and danger where nothing is what it seems. Holmes and Watson first tackle a wizard case involving a murdered American found in an empty house with no apparent motive or suspect. As they follow cryptic symbols left at the scene, they uncover a tale of betrayal and revenge that span continents. Holmes' keen observation lead them to a secret society and dramatic confrontation with unexpected assailant. With their success in this case, Holmes' reputation grow and more challenging puzzle come their ways. So I will copy this synopsis inside the document so you can read it at your own leisure, and I will keep on going. So we copy, we do new, a blank document, pass it down, call it synopsis, which go fast since not is going to synopsis. Next, we'll say that I am happy with this synopsis. We can go and generate our character cards. So we can go and generate our character. As you can see, we got our Sherlock Holmes, and we have pretty much everything I need in my card. Things are like this that I have to go and figure out, because now that we have our access to create our own card, like the world building, so I can go and fix these in the future, how they start. As you can see here, I got my protagonists, monsters, mon personnage principal, that's for the French people, my French cards. So these are there. So you can now create your own. So that's something to work on when you have a chance to fix your character. As a teacher, sometimes it's a bit harder because we have between our books and the session, a bit of missing time here. So we have our Dr. John Watson, the Inspector Lestrade, Mary Mortston, Irene Hodler, this is the love interest. Then we have Professor James Moriarty, the antagonist, Mrs. Martha Hudson, the minor character, Mycroft, the brother, so supporting one, the Colonel Sebastian Morin, antagonist 2, Violet Hunter, a supporting 1, and if you had more to add, you can go and add them yourself. Now, what I wanted to show you as a second bonus is how I work the world building. So what I do is I take my synopsis, and if you don't mind, I'm going to bring you guys inside the, if I can get to it, ChatGPT. In ChatGPT, I would go and probably start a new card, which I want to bring this card into this one here to a new project. So let's see if I can do this instead. So when you do a lot of these, it's nice to have something like a project that you can go back and just create a new underneath, because the question is already there. So the question is very simple. It's world buildings with an S, because you want more than one card. So you tell the AI that this is a synopsis, and I need all the elements required to build the perfect world building cards for this story, and then you pass in the synopsis. So here we'll create a new project, and I'm going to say basically what I want in my question. And I like to do little things like that so I know exactly what it is. Now, as you can see, he knows it's too long. So I'm just going to put world buildings like that, create. Now I'm going to add that full question, and I'm going to go get my synopsis. So Dr. Sherlock Holmes synopsis, I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to click go. And what that's going to do is going to give me all the important world building cards that I should bring to
Perfect choice for a world buildings card system. Sherlock Holmes is deceptively rich. On the surface it's Victorian detective, but underneath it's a tightly engineered ecosystem of rules, power structures, social tension, and intellectual warfare. Below is a complete card-ready world-building breakdown, designed so you, or Sudowrite, a card deck system, can instantly remix, expand, or teach from it. I'll structure this as card categories, with what each card must contain and example entries tailored to this story.
All right. So now what we do is we take each card, like world rules card number 1, you copy this, so card by card, so card number 1, and then you go inside the world building. At the bottom in the 3 dot, you go under import. In the import, you pass your card in here and you click import. What that's going to give you is going to give you a very detailed world building with every single candies and sweet and pepper spicy that you need for your story. So it's importing this and see what it's going to give you. And what I like with this system is they don't stay in it. He's going to go get what he knows about the world building, but he's going to enter the truth is hidden in plain sight, the evil is organized, intellect power is power, mystery of the detective. Some of them has no type. Now we'll show you what I do with that. As I said, this is a before we get to the outline, these are important to have all the information that the AI needs to really write your story the best possible way. Okay, so the one who has no type, what I like to do when that happens is I like to go here and it says, okay, this is a rule card. So I just take this rule or world, that doesn't matter. And I go inside of it, and where there's none, I just enter this is a rule card. Don't forget to click on it because you have to click on it. I'm going to have to go and delete a few. Why it doesn't do that, but today decide to give me a lot of rules. So we'll pause and go fix that if it's actually existing the way I think it is. Should not be. I guess it is, but it's not over here. All right. All right, I keep on going. It seems just a little glitch, which is there. We'll keep with card number 2, the setting. I have to go on my way to number 3 because it's giving example of individual card that he's looking for that story. And I'm sure that Sudowrite probably given even more of those little timbits. And I will do the other one without the recording, so not keeping you for hours on this one. Okay, the word building card for the character is pretty big, and I'm pretty sure there is some kind of maximum that you can import. So as you can see, he's not able to import all of them, so I will have to put this one in half or in multiple, bringing it in multiple times. I don't know how many cards we can bring in an importation, but we have to take some out. So instead of going and try to delete, and I don't know how long I'm supposed to delete. See, there we go. So I had three too many cards. So we can try to go with that. See what that's going to do. So there's a maximum number of cards to know about. Question to be asked for Sudowrite. All right, so it took quite a bit of time to get the world building for our Victorian story with Sherlock Holmes. As you can see, the world building has 13,852 words. It's a very long world building, but the fact that I want to show you. All right, so the point that there is so much information in the world building, I want to show you the difference between a very small world building and a complete big world building when you create a outline. Because a lot of people says my outline is not big enough, there's not enough chapter, we have to add chapter. But once you have a world building which has every element that it's needed for this, then you get the information you need. So I put it at the, I want to know about every character way of thinking. We can put it in the past tense because Sherlock Holmes is definitely in the past tense, and we're going to see what it's going to give us. And it will take a long time for the generation of this outline. And we're still on the novel outline, which normally give us about 24 chapters. So let's see what it's going to do with a very intensive world building. So I'm back to Sherlock Holmes, where you get all the information you're looking for inside our document. So you have all 3 different themes that we tried with the novel outline, with the bonus of how to expand your world building. I'm going to show you what that looks like once I want to work with it and write a story. So instead of going chapter by chapter, I simply put everything in one scene, total scene. And today I'm going to try to, instead of taking the act and sticking them up with the first chapter, I'm going to ask if he can write an introduction to Act 1 before he gets inside the chapter 1. See how he's going to do with that. But you can see each chapter has their title. And I want to make sure that each of those acts has an intro and to link up all those together properly. So I'm hoping that it's going to work. Now you have to just, there we go, like that. And we have 5 acts, and it's having a hard time to go up. Hopefully I didn't miss any. We're asking a lot to the computer. I put a lot of information inside the Sherlock Holmes. Hopefully he's going to write something which never been written before on Sherlock Holmes. Obviously, when you do these, you read everything, and you can tell that once you read all that, you have a whole day of work just by setting up all your world building, your character, and everything else that you need to have the story you want. So as you can see, I did miss a couple of those. Act 3 intro. Let's enter, enter, enter. Act 2. Then we should have Act 1. So total, we should have, if everything is done right, we should have 28 scene or chapter total. So now it's after that is to choose what we're going to use to write our story. So on that, I'm going to go my research and see which one I'm going to use to write that story. So as last part of this demo and little bonus, I want to show you that I did go and ask ChatGPT, another little bonus for you guys, how to use this style to write that book. And I simply ask, okay, I like to have the best description, the best possible way to describe the way that Sherlock Holmes, the story of Sherlock Holmes, are written. So I can give the Sudowrite AI that it can actually write the story in the same writing style. So it gave me a very long description of the writing style for Sherlock Holmes, which I simply put inside the extra instruction. I could probably have take some information out there. And I just put it inside the extra instruction. And now it's writing scene 1, where we did ask for the instruction of the introduction first of the science of deduction. So in the perpetual half-fleet of London, where gas lamps struggle against the fog, here exists a man whose mind illuminated the darkest puzzle of human behavior, while the great city concealed its secret behind a veil of smoke and propriety. Sherlock Holmes had developed a science of peeling away these layers to reveal the truths that others could not or would not see. His method, as unconventional as they were precise, transformed the subtle indicator of human activity into a narrative as clear to him as if he had witnessed the event himself. The London of the latter 19th century provided the perfect hunting ground for mind as such as his. Its narrow street and hidden court form a labyrinth where the criminal class might disappear, where respectability in one quarter might mask depravity in other. The city was not merely a collection of buildings and throughout fairs, but a living organism with its own pulse and patterns. Those who understood these patterns, who could read the mud on a man's trousers, cuff, and calluses on a woman's fingers, possess an advantage that bordered on the preternatural. So we have a interesting introduction, and then it should start with, it's a fairly long introduction just for this, and the scene 2 is talking about Baker Street, where Dr. Watson returned to London had not been the triumphant homecoming he once envisioned. Afghanistan had claimed his health and very nearly his life. The Giselle bullet that shattered his shoulder had sent him home with a military pension insufficient for London expenses, and a tremor in his hands that betrayed the psychological wound accompanying his physical injury. So far, so good. So I only at, not sure which scene it stopped, where I would have to go and ask. So scene 3. Or 5. Okay, so it didn't finish 5. So what would normally I do, you can, if you're very far in, you can continue or simply delete and get it to restart scene 5 in its totality. So this part here, because it's not very long in, well, it's fairly long in, 400. We'll delete it and ask for to continue at scene 5, and from here generate. So enjoy this little bonus of the introduction at the start of each act. Does kind of work pretty good. So good luck on this, and then have fun writing. Bye for now.
Underneath the Christmas lights, with family by my side, we gather round the starry night, in laughter, love, and pride. The scent of hot cocoa fills the air, warming hearts with every sip. Stories weave through the evening glow, and friendships take a trip. I need a holiday, let the world fade away, with stars shining bright and our hearts in flight. We'll dance through the night with joy inside, creating memories to hold tight. Authors dreaming under moonbeams, crafting tales we long to share. Writers with their hopeful schemes, inspiration fills the air. With friends gathered near, we write our songs. In this moment we belong. The magic of this season calls us home, where we know we're never wrong. I need a holiday, let the world fade away, with stars shining bright and our hearts in flight. We'll dance through the night with joy inside, creating memories to hold tight. Let's chase the I